Welcome back to Face Time. My name is John Ryan. I'm your host, and today I have a guest. His name is Wesam Keesh, and he's a real artist guy, actor. I mean, it sounds, I don't know why I just trivialized it. He's an actor. You might know him from the show Awkward or The Good Girl. He's got he's got some shit coming out soon. And we're going to talk about it in the episode a little bit. We talk a lot about his craft. We talk a lot about his commitment to it all, which is much more than I've heard from a lot of people. It's cool. What he is to me from our conversation, he thinks about acting how an actor should think about acting. And it's really weird, like, coming from LA to come across a smaller percentage of people than I'd like to admit that are like him, because he's a real actor. He's a real committed artist. So anyway, before we get into the interview, if you can subscribe on YouTube, that'd be cool. If you're watching it already and you're not subscribed, just click it. It's right there. It's that red button. Boom. And then I'm on Instagram, Facetime, and TikTok, Face number 2, FaceTime. And that's it, man. Let's get into this interview.
Yo.
What's up, man?
How are you? Cheers.
Cheers, man. What is that? That's your sponsor, isn't it?
Jocko Discipline Go. No, I wish he was our sponsor. It's a great drink. It's all natural energy.
What is it?
It's like an all natural energy drink. It's like cherry vanilla, no artificial colors, sweeteners, or flavors. I love it.
Oh, it's just like sparkling flavored water with ginseng or something.
Yeah, they have like there's caffeine, alpha, GPC, theobromine. It's all like nootropics, I think it's called. Yeah.
Oh, nootropics. Yeah. Well, this is White Claw. It's got water, alcohol, and that's all that really matters.
Cheers, dude.
Cheers, man. Oh, man. Dude, it's kind of I don't know how is it for your show when you're setting up? Is there a lot of setup for your show, or do you have like people that do it and then you just sit down and you're like, all right, ready to go?
In the beginning, there was a lot of finding out how the gears turn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What needs to be done, how this mic needs to be set up, how this camera needs to be set up. I am the type of person who I'm like, okay, I need to know how everything works and then get somebody else to do it all. And so I've got a producer who handles the setup. And so we've gotten into the flow of things, and it's pretty simple now.
Yeah, I mean, it's normally pretty simple. There's an easy checklist for me, but there was like, I forgot I went and shot some other shit. I had, because I've been doing in-person interviews, so to switch that setup is like much different in subtleties. So all those things. And then there's like, the shirt, there's so much shit. Basically, I'm at the point though where I know how it all goes. I just need someone else to do it, so I don't drive myself fucking crazy before an interview.
Yeah.
But, well, how's your day going, dude? What's happening in Wesam world?
I pulled my fucking hamstring 2 days ago, and so that's not fun.
Dude, you're the second person that's told me about pulling hamstrings. I think it's a weather thing.
Yeah, I didn't warm up. I was an idiot. I was running sprints with my buddies, and I'm like, oh, I feel good. I'm 33. I can still move like I'm 20. No. And it popped in the last sprint, and I heard it pop, and I was like, oh, this isn't good.
Yeah, I woke up today. I've been jogging a lot lately. My knees, I'll just wake up. When I start jogging again anytime in my life, my knees just fucking, I don't know what happens, but I wake up, and I can't walk that well anymore.
Oh, dude, this is the thing that saved my life, and since COVID and everything's locked down, I've kind of screwed myself. I was doing yoga and hot yoga on a very consistent basis. I'd go almost like 4 times a week, and my knee pain, joint pain, all that stuff went away with it. Lower back pain, because I was actually stretching my body, making sure everything was loose, and I haven't gone in months. I tried to do some stuff here on my own, but it's not consistent.
Yeah, but was it the hot aspect or was it the yoga aspect or
Both.
both?
Both.
So I can't just do yoga or I can't just be hot?
No, do yoga. Just make sure you do it consistently and make sure you sweat in it. You don't want to do those kind of classes where you're like, I mean, those are nice where you're like, I feel good. I
Yeah,
did
yeah,
some.
yeah.
No, you want to leave going, oh man, I got a kind of a workout there.
All right, all right, all right. All right, all right, I'll do it. I'll do it. You convinced? I'll fucking do it, dude. Chill out.
Do it. Oh my gosh. No,
I'll fucking do it, man.
But that's great. You're jogging again. That's good.
Yeah, well, I got all fat during the interview, or during the pandemic. I'm all fucked up right now, dude.
Do you live alone or with roommates?
I live alone.
That's great.
Yeah, yeah. Why do you ask?
Well, it's kind of hard, I feel like, because my brother moved out to LA 4 years ago, and I was planning on like maybe living alone. But since he was moving out, I'm like, no, let's get a place to ourselves. And it's so much easier. Like if he's like, hey, you want to come work out, or you want to do this quick ab workout with me, or you want to do
Oh
this,
yeah, yeah.
you have somebody to go with. And so we kind of keep each other in check with the working out stuff. And so I can only imagine how much more difficult it's going to be once we live separately.
Well, I mean, I got friends that live really close to me.
Oh, that's good.
So, yeah, I mean, we live on like the same block, all three of us.
Oh, that's nice. You guys are close?
Yeah, yeah, dude. So it's the craziest thing. I've talked about it before on the podcast, but real quick, it's I was out here alone. Like I had made the leap to just come to New York because I really wanted to. Came alone, had this job offer, it was great, and then pandemic, alone completely. No one is, you know what I mean? Like everyone's stuck to their like own circles,
Wow.
whatever. And then it was just me and my dog. So I was like, I don't know what to do. So months in, meaning back in September, my friends are decided to come here and visit for 10 days. So they're visiting for 10 days. And then the second day, they're both like, we're moving here. This is so cool. They had never been here before. They're like, this is so fucking rad. I can't believe I've never been here before. We're moving.
Wow.
So they moved here. One of them got a place across the street, and the other one's looking for another place like right next to both of us too. So we've been hanging out a lot the last 2 months, a month or so. But yeah, we've worked out together. We keep each other in check. Each other in check. You know, when it comes to, I mean, the biggest thing for me is drinking. Like, you know, like that's my biggest thing.
Man,
working out that's an easy decision to make and do.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know how you do it.
I
don't know how you do it because I only drink during my guys' nights episodes on the podcast, and I'll have 2 beers, and I'm more than okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm such a lightweight, and the next day I'm all like, oh my gosh, I don't feel great. So I'm almost envious people who can drink like almost every weekend.
It's the sprints. You got to stop the sprints, and you can up your alcohol tolerance. Stop sprinting. Start drinking more. You don't need to do. What do you need to sprint like that for? We've evolved enough so you can go to the store and buy a chicken.
I know, but
it
feels so good afterwards, though. Like my morning runs.
Stop running. Start drinking.
Oh man,
no, morning runs are the best, man.
You know, yoga, specifically like meditation and pre-dawn runs and extreme physical exercise for, at the time, what was extreme for me, really helped with my anxiety. And so I noticed whenever I don't stay consistent, my anxiety levels shoot up through the roof. I'm not as sharp as I want to be mentally, and little things bug me when they shouldn't bug me. And
what does your anxiety feel like?
My anxiety feels like I am not in control of myself, because I know logically that's the only thing I have control over is myself and my emotions and my thoughts. And so when I don't stay consistent and discipline myself with those kind of exercises that are difficult to do, I start being lackadaisical in other aspects of my life. And I hate that feeling.
Lackadaisical?
Yeah. Did I say it? I said it wrong, didn't I? Lackadaisical.
No, I've never heard that before.
Oh, really?
What is that? What does that mean?
Like, carefree, lazy, like, oh, that's not important, I'll do it tomorrow kind of.
Alexa, shut the fuck up. That word had that word in it.
Wow.
Oh, I got a girlfriend now, and she's much smarter than I am. And so she'll always throw out words like that. So I've gotten used to just being like, whoa, just tell me what that means. Like, I don't care how dumb I look right now. Just tell me what that means.
Oh,
You know?
that's great. You
I,
do that though.
yeah, because what am I gonna do? Like, pretend I know whatever that laxative word you just said was, and be like, yeah, and then try to like I'd rather learn. You know, I spent enough time in high school pretending I knew what everyone was talking about.
I love that a
You
lot.
know?
I actually respect that a lot. And this is actually one of for everybody or watching or listening to this. This is the first time we've actually had an extended conversation together. And I love these kind of
Yeah.
conversations with people I've never met before in person, and we're talking for
Yeah.
the first time and getting to know a stranger like this is the best
Uh-huh.
way possible in a podcast long form.
Yeah, totally. I mean, like you were saying too, when we were corresponding, we'll say on Instagram, you were like, "I hate doing FaceTime, but I'll do it." I mean, I would want to do in person too. It's just everyone I know, my entire like network of people is back in LA. So my brain just made this up, and I was like, "Well, I guess I could do this. This is the best I got."
I love it. I love it. And you're a
Yeah,
director, right?
yeah. So I mean, right now I'm gonna bleep out the name of the company that I work at, but I work. Do you know about it?
Oh yeah.
So I'm the senior director editor of the content there,
Okay.
and so we've been making a lot of shit, and it's just that we don't have like a tab right now
Right.
for content. So, but the reason why is because we're making it.
Right.
We have to make a bunch of shit first, and then create the tab, and then it'll go in there. So I've been directing a lot of shit, editing a lot of shit for them for the last year or so. That was why I came out here.
Yeah. They do a lot of porn, right?
And then
No.
yeah, a lot of porn, a bunch of porn.
Everybody listening, like, he works for a porn company?
Wait, I have a question.
Yeah.
If you were to do porn, what kind of porn would you do?
Oh. Uh, it's a great question. I probably want to direct.
No, come on, you can't cop out. But
No,
like direct like a
I'm
POV.
being dead serious. I'd rather direct. I'd want like really detailed storylines into it, like passionate storylines.
Oh yeah.
I would like
So you.
and like yeah. This is gonna sound very personal. The way certain
Uh-huh.
Japanese like storyline pornographic films are done are very
Japanese.
like not like your
Oh
typical Japanese like porn you can like look up. I'm talking about like
yeah.
it's almost like there's this really intricate storyline to it, and
Yeah.
the actors don't acknowledge the camera at all. Like they're like really good actors. I'm like, oh shit, like so probably that.
Oh no shit. Is there a name of it that I can search?
Honestly, I don't know. Like it would just be Japanese story. No, I'm being serious. Like, there's no
Yeah. Let
point
me
in
search
denying that
Japanese
I
story.
watched this. I've already said I've watched it before. Like,
Yeah.
I really don't know. I think if you just search like Japanese storyline porn, something will come up.
Japanese storyline porn.
Yeah. Is this a common question? I think you've asked somebody this before, right?
I have not asked anyone that before. You
Okay.
were the first.
Oh wow. Okay. Oh, what am I thinking
Yeah.
of? I'm thinking of the video where somebody was convincing you to have sex with Tom Cruise.
Oh yeah, I mean I talk about a lot of stuff like that. But no, pretty much over every episode I talk about like how different ways I would want to have sex with Tom Cruise,
Mm.
but and how I think it, will probably happen one day, but
Manifested, man.
no. And then the other one that I was talking about was about foot porn.
Oh, okay.
Which, by the way, do you post videos on TikTok of your podcast?
Yeah, we have our separate. I have my own account on TikTok, but I never post anything on there. But we have a podcast
Right.
account for TikTok. Yeah.
It's bumming me out because the entire stigma with TikTok is like it sucks, it's for kids, whatever. But I just started using it a week ago for this podcast. Jesus fucking Christ. The results are very fast.
That's great.
People like it's crazy. It's fucking crazy. They just like really got it together and took the best parts of what Instagram could have been and did it so that everything was discoverable now,
Yeah. Yeah. Off air, I'll tell you some tips that we learned from a fellow friend who has like millions of followers on there. They told us, their mom told us actually some stuff that would help us out. So I'll definitely share that info with you. with like the
Oh wow,
algorithms and
thank
stuff
you.
like that. Yeah, my social media producer handles all those postings and all the edits for our videos, because this is a complaint that not only I've had, my brother's had, and other artists, actors, directors, especially actors in our industry. They're like, I don't want to get on Instagram. I don't want to get on TikTok. I just want to do my music and or do my work and want people to
Yeah.
that way. And I've struggled with this for a while, and
Mm-hmm.
it felt in the beginning like, oh man, I'm selling out. I'm posting on TikTok. I'm posting on
Yep.
Instagram. Like I gotta
Yep.
post selfies on Instagram. I hate posting pictures of myself on Instagram. I'd rather post sunrise photos because I think that's infinitely more beautiful. I really do. I don't
Mm-hmm.
understand when my sunrise photos get like 100 likes or whatever, and then a selfie of me doing something stupid is like 1,000 likes. It's like, what?
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Because they're not following sunset.jpg. They're following Wesam.
That's a great point. And
You know?
that's what I had to understand. Like, okay, this is the game. This is the system in place. I've either got to play with it, work it to my advantage for my career, or else I'm not going to help myself with my career.
Yeah. you know, Fahim Anwar, comedian. Yeah. So he was, I asked him the same question about TikTok because, obviously he's a great stand up. He said, that like as a creator, as a talent or whatever, you're leaving money on the table if you just don't, if you're not on the bleeding edge of like the new shit or whatever. And now TikTok's not super new, but you know what I mean? Like, and I just witnessed that recently, just signing up for it. I mean, I started at the beginning of the pandemic, and I was like, well, maybe this will be my project. I'll just, I did Vine when Vine was big, and I was like, okay, maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll do another Vine thing in my life in my fucking 30s. This will be weird. And then it was, but then this is what happened though. I caught onto it really quick, and I was like, all right, this is how it works. I can put the energy and effort into this,
Yeah.
and not that I'll be like extremely famous or anything, but I can like get the numbers up there. I felt that pretty quickly, and I was like, all right, I don't want to do that though. I want to make art. I want to make shorts at least during the pandemic. So I ended up making this, um, but I saw the system, and I was like, all right, I get it. I get it. You do shit. You try to put a punchline in there. You write little sketches, and then you put it. But as a business thing, it's very different. And people don't catch on when it's something that's like, knock on wood, I guess, but people don't really catch on when they're watching something that is like like this, like a podcast or something,
Yeah.
They don't see that like, oh, they're advertising their podcast. They just see like, oh, this is funny. It's like such a Trojan horse for a show.
Right. And
You know?
here's another fear that I had in the beginning of it. Branding, which for most people to be like what? Why would you be afraid of that? I look at those TikTok famous like Instagrammers, who would do those sketches that are just not
Yeah.
funny,
They're disgusting. Yeah.
They're what?
I mean, I think they're disgusting.
Oh, disgusting. Sorry, I didn't hear what you said. Yeah,
Yeah.
disgusting. I just think it's not funny. It's over the top acting. Like I can see the joke happening from a mile away,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, I don't want to be another person doing jokes like that on Instagram. I don't want somebody to
Yeah.
come to my site. I was like, oh, look at this guy. He's doing like what they're doing. That to me is so soul crushing. It makes me
Oh, yeah.
like sad. At times when I was talking about it with my management team, they're like, are you okay? You look like you're gonna cry, and I'm like, I'm just frustrated because I don't want to do any of this. I want to
Mm-hmm.
be me. There's more to me than just posting selfies or posting a funny video. So I've been slowly cultivating and finding my own voice and branding that is true to me, because I'm not just a guy who does funny bits or a funny joke or a silly video on the internet. I love talking about deep stuff too. I love
Yeah.
like connecting with people, and I love doing legit acting projects. Acting is my passion. It's my craft. It's
Mm-hmm.
what I respect a lot. And so there's like these different aspects and facets to me. So the idea of being labeled as like a Logan Paul, like as successful as he is, I do not want to be that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, if you could be successful for like taking shits or something like that, do you want to be successful for that? Or do you want to take 5 more years and hone in on something and be respected for something that you fucking honed in on? You know what it is? Oh, dude, this is the shit. Okay, when's the last time you watched Jurassic Park?
Oh, recently, probably within the quarantine. Yeah.
So Jeff Goldblum's character says this really, really beautiful thing, like made me tear up because it's sort of what's happening with social media and people that blow up overnight. Is that he was telling the Jurassic Park dude, the white hair and all that stuff. He was saying this is the reason why this isn't going to work. Jurassic Park is because you took ideas that other people took years to come up with and prove, and you just put them all together and made this thing. You didn't earn this knowledge. Someone else did all of this. You weren't out there finding the mosquito. You didn't earn any of it. It took zero discipline for you to do this. Therefore, you're going to disrespect it just inherently. So same thing with someone that gets any sort of success overnight is it's not, if it's not earned, if there's no discipline behind how you got there, you're not going to treat it as if you earned it. You're going to treat it as if you want it.
1,000%. And I'll give you a real life example of that. And you might have already came across this on the East Coast. So right when Vine kind of crashed, and then everybody was going to Instagram. All those people who were doing funny Vine videos that had millions of followers, and then they went to Instagram and they were blowing up. The breakdowns in casting, and me and my actor buddies were like, "What the fuck is this?" The breakdown started saying, "How many social media followers do you have? We need a social media star for this role." And we're like, "What the fuck? These guys are now taking our acting jobs? What? They're not actors." They're doing over the top acting bits.
But so are they?
They tried them. They tried them, dude. And every single film or movie that they did, for the most part, didn't do well because they're not actors. And it's not no bashing to them. I'm not doing what they do, but they haven't taken those years of studying acting. Like, you're gonna compare, like, I don't know, one of those guys to Christian Bale or Tom Hardy. Or some other actor that we don't know their name, but they studied like 8 years in a conservatory, or they went and toured with Shakespeare in the park. Like, there's no way, dude. There's no way. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So it's back to what you said. When you've actually earned it, you've cultivated it, you've worked hard at it, you've failed at it, and you learned why you failed at it. That's when you can build a long-term career in it.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of it's a really good lesson to have learned from a distance, to be like, all right, I see what they did here. But okay, so one thing I was gonna say though, I don't know if you follow skateboarding at all, but do you know this skater Jerry Sue? He's I think he's like Filipino or something, but he's a photographer. But what he did with his internet persona was just post interesting shit on his skate trips, and it blew up not only because of him, but because his photos are just fucking interesting. That's it.
Oh.
They're just interesting, and that's all you look for in a photo is interesting. Is this interesting or not? I was just going back to saying that, it doesn't have to be, hey guys, how's it going? I ate fucking kale today. The fuck, it can be whatever you want it to be, and it's kind of cool that you found what you can dig doing or tolerate doing. Also, dude, your podcast is fun. Oh, your podcast is fun, but I didn't know who you were when you hit me up, right?
Yeah.
And so, we didn't know who each other were. You found me from Mike Lenochi's interview, right?
Yeah, convicted felon Michael Lenochi. That's right.
Yep.
Yep.
So yeah, but I knew I was gonna interview. I wanted to see what you're about. You're a fucking real actor, dude.
Oh, thank
I didn't
you.
know.
Yeah.
I didn't. Yeah. You're welcome. Yeah, I didn't know. I thought that you had done, because you were talking about Adobe Radio and your show that you have on there. But it's confusing because Adobe is live, like in some shows.
Right. So just to, I guess, we're pull the veil. It doesn't really matter. We record our show on Saturday because that's the best time for me to record, like usually on the weekends. But the actual show airs live, in quotation marks, on Adobe Radio on Thursdays. And then the full episode usually because our shows last more than an hour, is available the next morning, Friday morning, on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. So you get like the first hour of the show on Adobe
Mm.
Radio on Thursdays.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, all right. Yeah, because I was trying to figure it out because my friend does a show too, but I thought his was going to be recorded and it's live. I don't know. It gets kind of weird because you don't know. Everyone's doing podcasts and normally you record them. Sometimes you bake them. I mean, the one coming out the week after we're recording this is I recorded like 2 weeks ago, and it's not
Thanks.
that like any of the information is necessarily dated. It's just I got to get them out. Actually, I might just do this one because this is more current. So let's talk about the election.
All right.
What were the streets like out in L.A.? Where in L.A. are you?
I'm in NoHo.
Oh, rad. Okay, how was NoHo?
It's chill, man.
Mm.
Everywhere's chill.
No, I mean like in the election, like when Biden won.
When Biden won, yeah,
Yeah,
there was some cheering. That's for sure.
dude.
There was definitely cheering out in the streets. Like you can hear it from my windows and across the country. Well, yeah, across the country, but across the city too. But I stayed in. I stayed in, man. I don't like to. Yeah, I stay in a lot when stuff
You,
like that
you
happens.
what? Why?
I celebrate internally.
You don't. You're not. I mean, I get that too because It's very rare that anything will make me go, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Like this feels weird already doing it. You know what I mean? Like that's my
yeah.
whole thing behind sports is that people that do that, uh, I really got to give a fuck about the whatever this thing is, or it has to directly like I didn't. I don't know. I can't even think of an example that would make me do something like that. So I
Can,
know what
can,
you're saying.
can I? I'll. This is super deep, and I don't think I haven't talked about it in a while. This is why I celebrate internally for a lot of things. Have you heard
Mm,
of Hermes Trismegistus?
no.
Okay,
This is I already
he's
like where this is going though.
cool. He is an ancient pre-Egyptian philosopher, and
Okay.
he's responsible for a lot of Hermetic knowledge and like the Hermetic principles on life. And his teachings influence like Tesla and a lot of other philosophers for decades and centuries to come. Anyway, he talks about your emotions being on a pendulum, you know? And so when
Mhm.
a lot of times if you're run by your emotions, if something bad happens, you swing to one end and you're like sad and you're crying, you're all distressed. And then if something good happens, you're like, whoa, whoa, you're going crazy happy. And so he
Mhm.
talks about how it's really important to kind of keep that pendulum in the middle. So you're not too emotionally driven by outside circumstances. And then a lot of other philosophers that
Mhm.
talk about the
Mhm.
same thing in the future. And so when I read that, at first I was like, well, you should be super excited and super happy when good things happen to you. And then as I grew older, I realized, oh no, man, like things are constantly changing. Something bad will happen. Don't worry. It'll eventually go away and then something good will happen and it'll bring you
Yeah.
back. So kind of staying in that middle ground keeps me at peace and keeps me focused in on the things that are really important. And so if you do see me, like this is how I celebrate for things I get excited about. I'm like, that's good. All right. Because with the
Nice little.
Biden win, I
Uh-huh.
was like, okay, great. I'm happy. We got somebody who can actually form a sentence properly and actually cares
Mhm.
about human rights. Now there's a lot of work to do. So I'm
Mhm.
looking forward to the work that needs to be done.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's weird because I as much as I agree with that on paper, where I want to just internalize it, my pendulum swings from introvert to extrovert.
Mm,
Every other day, every other few days, every other week. Sometimes I don't feel like doing anything for a while, but for the most part, when it swings back hard, and I go, "Oh, I'm doing shit now. I'm gonna
yeah.
go out and do shit." So, I'll very often be, introverted in a very like off-putting way to my friends, my family. They're like, "You're being weird," and I'm like, "Nah, this is just what I feel like doing right now." But then there's
Yeah.
times when I'm like, going off the fucking rails. It's the same thing as like going on a bender. If you think about like drinking a bunch and
Oh,
being
okay.
hungover. So I my personality is very like if we're doing it, we're fucking doing it, baby. And then
Yeah.
when I'm sad, I'm fucking sad, baby. You know? So I don't mind doing those, but I will say you're right. When you get older, I am my where it used to be these two extremes, the margin has been brought in on how much I'll let it swing the other ways, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but I still do like touching this wall and then touching that wall. You know, I don't really. It's scary to think about. To me, it's scary to think about just being completely consistent all the time, because I wonder if you think about the natural, like even a beating heart goes up and down. I mean, to me, that's life, up and down, up and down, up and
Ah,
down.
see, I respectfully disagree to a certain extent with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, life is up and down, up and down. This, depending on the perspective you're viewing your life from. And that's something we all have a choice on.
Mm-hmm.
I truly believe. And maybe the opportunity to widen that perspective for your life changes with from person to person depending on circumstances, etc. But perspective is super important in the way you channel all the information that comes at you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I know that I've had a very unique life. I've been very blessed in the sense that I was born in Syria. Family came to New York. My mom and dad. My brothers were
Mm-hmm.
born here. We moved to Oklahoma. Then I moved to LA, and the rest of my extended family, most of them's in Syria. And the war has taken a toll on us personally. We've lost family members. We've lost family members to COVID now too. So
Mm-hmm.
what I find, and then everything else that's happened in my life. So I didn't get to just live in one small town, or I didn't move from one city to the next, or I didn't move from one side of the country to the next. I've gotten to experience a whole gambit of lives and experiences from my family members and from myself. So that's why I know that, like, okay, I think I have a better gauge as to than most, and I'm thankful for that, as to those things that will. I'm more careful, I should say, for the things that will take me to the extreme of one emotion to the next. Now, I will
I
say
see.
this: if somebody doesn't have that, like I don't know what life you've lived, I'm not going to say, "Oh, you need to like me. You need to not be so emotionally expressive." I'm not going to say that either, because I know
Yeah.
this person has lived a certain life that's different from mine, and I'm not going to tell them like, "Oh, you got to be non-expressive." Like
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't make
Yeah,
sense
yeah,
either.
yeah. But it's weird because watching your podcast, you'll get up and dance, you'll get pissed off, you know what I mean? You'll get really deep. Like you have all these different you sort of span the spectrum of emotion on your podcast. And I
Yeah.
think that's more so what I've even been talking about, is just like in a single setting, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're like, parachuting out of an airplane one day and then,
Mm,
watching movies for 1 week straight. Like I'm not really, but I think we're on the same page about this. But the page is like, the it's we're on the adjacent pages. I think
yep.
when it comes to this, because I'll sort of jump around. I don't like. It's hard to do one thing. I used to work in nightclubs in LA. You said you're 33.
Yeah.
I'm 33. How long you been in LA?
11 years now. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, we had to have crossed paths. I used to work at nightclubs. Did you ever get into that scene?
That was the first maybe a year or two into LA, and then I kind of stopped. I couldn't do it. I was like,
That
I'm
was
done.
probably when I was working at nightclubs.
Okay.
Um, that was like 2000. I worked at nightclubs from like 2007 to 10, probably
Okay,
somewhere
probably the
around
first
there.
year, because I moved here in '09.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah. I just was seeing that the people who were like quote unquote successful in what, the same I guess industry or whatever that was, as me, the same circles as me. I
Yeah.
I saw that and I was like, I don't want that. What the fuck is that? That's not a person. That's not. That doesn't seem good. So I stopped. I just quit.
Yeah.
And and but that's what I saw. It was just someone just always at 10. I mean, I don't have that personality. I know some people
Mm,
do. There's some
yeah.
people that just cannot fucking stop like working, and they'll party. I mean, like, I was watching that Comedy Store documentary, and they were talking about Sam Kinison, and he was just like would not stop partying. He was just one of those people, you know, and
Sad.
it's super sad, man. And like you know, a lot of people I know are sober now. I'm not, but I haven't really had any issues. So,
That's good.
you know what I mean? Like not enough issues. Not well, no issues really, but no issues to be like, oh, I gotta tighten this up. My tightening up is just my pendulum swinging the other way and going, you know, I'm gonna just be sober for like 2 months on my own. Like what? I don't know.
Yeah. I think it's important to remember, like for little things, like if your car gets hit by another person, yeah, you're gonna be a little upset, you know what I mean? But finding that middle ground of like, okay, I'm pissed off, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. I'm just gonna make a checklist and go through it. I'm gonna be annoyed, and that's gonna be a thing. I don't think that's necessarily. I don't view that as the pendulum swinging too fast,
I
too
see.
high up.
Yeah.
What I think is important to apply that principle or that technique in life
Mm-hmm.
is when major things happen. For instance,
Oh.
my dad broke
Oh.
his spine 2.5 years ago, and I
Oh
got the
shit.
phone call FaceTime with him in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, this isn't good, because if he's FaceTiming me from the hospital, something's really wrong. And immediately in my head, I was like, oh, you're the oldest son. You have two younger brothers. Your dad's in trouble now. What are you gonna do? So he told me, like, I'm going in for surgery tonight or tomorrow morning. I broke my spine. It's pretty serious. And so my brother, he was emotionally hit by it, and I
Mm-hmm.
don't blame him. He started crying, and I told him, hey, it's gonna be okay. We're gonna take it one step at a time. I'm gonna get on a plane right now, and then you stay here, hold down the fort, and if you need to come, you'll come. And he's like, okay, cool. And we took it step by step by step, because that was the only thing to do. And he's fine. He learned how to walk again and everything. But that
Mm-hmm.
initial reaction, I know I couldn't be off the wall for it. Otherwise, it wouldn't give strength to my dad or my mom, more
Oh yeah.
importantly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay. You know, that's a really good point. I actually become much more subdued when things are like what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah,
When that happens, I'm not hysterical. There's no way, because you have to curve it somehow, right?
yeah.
You can't go with it or else it wins kind of. I
Yeah.
feel. You know? You got to go, okay, there's no way if I freak out right now, I will not make the right decision. So let me take a deep breath. Okay, okay, now I'm with you.
Yeah.
Cuz that's what you
Yeah.
did. You just did a deep breath and you got, all right, what do we do? How do we
Yeah.
fix this shit? And how do we not freak out? You ever see those videos of like people getting in fights and there's just someone in the background? Ah! 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 I'm
Yeah.
always like, I'm always yelling at the video, shut the fuck up. It doesn't matter. What you're yelling is not going to do anything for what's happening there. Shut the fuck up and get in and help, or call someone and make sense when you call someone to help or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
But that always has been like such a weird expression to me when someone's just uh but anyway,
Dude,
I'm glad that
could you imagine that? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but could you imagine that person actually dealing with a real problem? Like, oh,
oh,
Jesus.
your package is going to be 1 day late, ma'am. Ah! We don't have eggs this morning. Sorry, you can't do your breakfast. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. So what's going on with I saw that you had a movie coming out, or a movie that you're working on, that you already did. It's on your IMDb and it
Yeah,
says it's coming out this year.
oh, a movie? Oh
Yeah.
shit. Are
Oh
you talking
shit,
about
do I have a movie coming out?
yeah, that's my question. Are you talking about Echo?
Oh, yes.
Echo. Oh, that's a TV show for NBC.
Oh, okay. So what I was getting at
So,
is there anything you're filming right now? Like in COVID times?
nah, man. No,
Yeah.
nothing. No, we were 2 days into shooting that pilot, and then they called us back from Jersey, and they
Mm.
were like, "Yeah, you guys need to, you guys need to get on a plane and go back to LA." We're like, "What?"
Oh,
It was
fuck.
right before the lockdown.
Do you do any personal projects like outside of trying to get into your long list of acting credits?
Yeah, actually, me and my buddy, we wrote a pilot, and it's out to a few production companies right now, and it's going to be hopefully, yeah. So that's in the works right now. That's all I can say right now. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and I'm
Secret
really happy
project.
too because when people are like, "Oh, I wrote a pilot," you know what I mean, and you're like, "Oh, where is it?"
Yeah.
It's never like completed, or you read it and you're like, "Eh." No, we were really proud. Like we worked about a couple months on it, pretty
Yeah.
diligently, and
But
then yeah.
it is definitely sad that there does exist this graveyard of script like or pilot purgatory that's out there where everyone wrote and sold it and then it just never got made, you know?
And
And
that's
which
one
sucks
level.
because there's and that's what's that?
Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt. I was just going to say that's one level. The pilots that got even read and then sold, and then nothing happens with them. That's like one level of the purgatory.
Oh yeah, okay, what are the other ones?
Oh, like nobody reads your pilot, and that's all like all the way on the bottom,
Oh
or
yeah.
they read it and nobody likes it, and then you have to
Hmm.
change it, and then becomes something else, and so that's its own level. And then yeah, I guess there's
Well,
only like
I
a
mean,
couple.
there's also the ones that like go into production, get shot, and then they're like, we can't air this. This isn't
Yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah.
Have you had any crazy letdowns in the Hollywood industry?
Yeah, my first network pilot I booked. It
Yeah,
was shot by the creators of Bones. Do you remember that show?
I do.
Yeah, they were great guys, and I was excited about the script, and the lead actor in it was very nice. Everybody, the whole cast was great, and then it looked like a for sure thing. And me being naive, not really understanding the business yet.
Hmm.
This was like 5 years ago, I think. And yeah, man, it didn't go through. And I remember that was the one time, me being out in LA, I actually considered quitting because I was sick of it. I
Fuck.
was I was sick of having to go to the initial audition, then getting a call back, then a producer session, and then the testing, and then getting called back in the testing because my contract wasn't done, and then waiting for all that, and then hoping I don't get recast from the table read, and then shooting
Yeah.
the actual project, and then I'm like, here we go. Oh
Uh,
no, back to one. Oh fuck.
dude, I don't know how you do it. Like actors are so fucking strong or patient or crazy. I have no idea what it is necessarily, but it's insane how it's almost like you don't really know you have the job till you're watching yourself on TV. You know what I mean? Because
That's
you
it,
could have
dude.
even been cut out of the shit.
Yeah.
You
Oh yeah.
know, dude, that's insane.
I'll tell you this: if I really knew how difficult this industry was when I first started, I don't know if I would have continued, like before college and stuff like that, or in college, excuse me.
Really.
Yeah,
But do you?
because nobody tells you.
But you have, we'll say, like a level of fame where people could recognize you somewhere, or I mean, just even walking red carpets feels famous. Being in a show feels famous. Being on TV, movies feel famous. Does that offset it at all for you, or does that just like who gives a fuck? It is so hard to do.
The fame feeling you're talking about
Yeah.
is not anything anybody with a good sense of awareness expects, and I will explain it.
Yeah. Yeah.
My first red carpet I went to was probably like 10 feet long, and
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, this is it? This is the red carpet for this film festival? Oh, this is a red
Yeah.
carpet. Oh,
Yeah.
oh shit. Okay. And like my manager at the time was like, okay, I'm just gonna call your name and you're gonna take pictures. I didn't know what to do. So I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, this is me walking the red carpet. Like, and they're
Yeah.
calling my name and I get pushed off and another actor comes. And I remember looking back and going, oh, that that was
Mm-hmm.
different. Okay. And
And
then,
then you see the pictures and you look like a star.
yeah, and
And
I'm like, what the hell? Like this is so fake. And then those carpets get bigger and bigger. And I was lucky enough to go
uh
to I was hosting one for the Oscars. This like a Oscar pre-show thing. I was just one of the guys talking with people in the audience, and
uh-huh.
I saw the red carpet there. And even that one, when I walked it, I was like, this is really fake. This is not. I really
Oh.
don't care about this. Like I'm
And that's
glad
like
I
the
don't care
top
about
red
this.
carpet.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, this doesn't resonate in me, and I don't want to be on this. I actually just want to do amazing work, take care of my mom and dad financially in a positive way, do work that entertains people, makes people think, like really, really great projects, and just be a decent human being to other human beings. That's what I care about. And so that
Hmm.
fame aspect, I could give two shits about. I get excited if somebody recognizes me, not because it feeds my ego, but because, oh shit, this person loved
Yep.
my work and it made him happy. That's what I get excited about. Like, okay, cool. I'm glad you enjoyed it, man. That's awesome. I hope to do another project you enjoy.
Yeah, but
That's it.
this what you're saying right here, this attitude that you have exactly right here is exactly why you're going to be like whatever the top that you're looking for. Like A-list shit. You know what I mean? That
Oh, I hope so.
mentality is exactly what that is for. The people that think fame is great. By the way, fame is I think I would never want to I don't want to ever be famous. Like I
Mm,
would ever like never. I would rather be the guy behind the guy, you know? The guy that maybe you know my name, but you don't know who I am cuz who
mm,
cares? Who cares who
right.
I am? You watch the thing I made and that's like and I was, actors or whatever, recognize them. Fame seems fucking horrible. You're such a target, you know,
Yeah.
for good things as well as bad things. Um, so fame just seems fucking horrible to me. Jim Carrey has a quote where he's like, "I want to talk to anyone who thinks they want to be famous, and have them get rich first, and then see if they still
Mm,
want to get famous, because
yeah.
no one wants to be fucking famous, man." Um, I mean, they think they do. They think
Yeah.
they do.
This
That
is
sucks.
this.
Do you think it's like it's a pretty fucked up toxic thing that people just want to be famous to be famous now?
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
They don't understand. They literally think that, oh, this person I see is getting so much love and attention.
Mm
I want
mm.
love and attention. It's like, oh, you want love and attention in a different way in your soul, like in your soul
Yeah.
in whatever different way that is. A fulfilled person doesn't want that. A
Mm.
person with like real goals and aspirations, I believe, doesn't really want to be famous unless you have a really skewed view on reality or you're nefarious in some sort of way. I truly
Mhm.
believe that
Yeah.
because I mean, it's like you see those guys, those rich princes in the Middle East, and I'm not being like racist or whatever. It's just I'm just picking a thing, or you could pick them.
Sound pretty
Uh,
fucking racist, dude.
I know, classic Wesam, so racist. That's the quote for this episode.
Classic racist Cleet Sam.
No, but they'll go gold plate their Mercedes car. A truly happy person wouldn't do that.
Yeah. Yeah. That seems.
Out of this world. Like, I feel sorry for someone who feels the need to gold plate their car because they have so much money. They don't know what
Mm,
to do with it. Oh, I got to gold plate my car to find some fulfillment. It's like, oh, cool. You just bought a $21 million boat too that you barely use. Good luck to you, man. Good luck to you. Do you understand? Like, I'm not asking everybody to be Mother Teresa because I'm far from perfect. I have so many things I need to work on.
Mother
But
Teresa actually does have a gold-plated Mercedes.
really,
Yeah, I don't know if you saw that. It was on TMZ
oh,
yesterday.
yesterday. Oh, wow. I did
Yeah,
not
yeah.
see that.
She has a gold-plated
That
Mercedes, and she was walking. She was driving it. She was ghost riding it actually. She was spirit riding it.
I feel like you're lying, but you have good eyes, so I'm gonna trust you, John.
I got good eye. Well, no, okay. Some more racist things. All right.
You know, I don't get why people have to be assholes to each other. That's basically like part of the other branch I'm going off on right now.
Yeah.
It just amazes me when people are just complete assholes to other human beings.
Hmm.
I don't know.
I mean, I think the problem is that people don't think they're being assholes to other people. I mean, if we were to hone in on what an act, and if everyone in the world were able to agree on what the word racist means, then
Mm.
we'd be able to figure, because that's why racist people don't think they're racist. That's why they even do racist stuff. Oh shit, one of my lights died.
You talk shit about Mother Teresa. That's why. I'm gonna change all those pictures he has behind him. That's John Travolta in one of the most crazy films I've ever seen. I believe the love of his life at the end of that movie gets killed in a bathroom, if I'm not mistaken. She was doing a little bit of the cocaine, and yeah, and then he has his band picture up there in the top left. That is the band he used to play in, and some kind of artsy piece on the top right.
You were completely quiet the whole time, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Okay, cool, good. I needed that whole section to be quiet, so it's really good that you didn't speak.
Oh, cool, man.
Yeah, sorry about that. I got these lights that I guess I was using it. Oh, I was using it yesterday. Doesn't matter. Anyway, have you seen like because whether you like it or not, you are in the game of fame. I just made that up, dude. A game of fame.
T-shirt.
Fame of Thrones, dude. Made that up too. So, because you are, do you see a life where you hit a certain amount of fame that you're okay with and that you won't go past, or are you just I don't care?
I don't think fame is going to be up to me, and that's a byproduct. So I'm not going to be like, I'm going to stop making movies.
I'm going to stop being. Yeah, okay. All right, okay. Weird question. Let me do it again. Let me do another question. Let me do it again.
All right.
Do you see someone's career and also career and like how they handle it? What's a person's sort of like career that you're like, that is how I would do it? Like how they handle it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You know why I like Mark Wahlberg?
Because he wakes up at 2 a.m. to work out.
That is insane, even for me. That's crazy. Like, dude. There's nothing to do at 2 a.m. Not even work out. Okay, bro. No. Mark, just sleep a couple more hours. No. He's been He's one of the most consistently successful people in this industry, and his name. You recognize his name and everything. He's famous, but he's always just under the radar. If you notice that. He's never like in the headlines or in the tabloids or anything like that. And if you look at the last 10 years, especially. Well,
in the beginning, he was a lot. He was a controversial person. But that was only because he was a young asshole. And he was just fucking with people. He was a bully. Yeah. But he found God or Jesus or whatever he believes in. And turned it all around. And since then, you're right. He hasn't been.
Yeah. So what's not to aspire to or, be like, oh, cool. There's definitely some positive aspects to that type of living or the way he lives his life and the way he helps other people. And so I love a good redemption story, too. So that's one of the people I would say.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. He definitely does have like, dude, like that sniper movie he made or the fucking. Actually, you're right. He does have this weirdly.
Can I go through it?
What do you got?
So
his career?
I'll just go on what's it called? IMDb real quick since I have it, or I'm on my computer right now.
Okay.
Come on, Wesam, pull it together. You're on the most popular podcast ever.
The most popular podcast. Yes.
So, just talking about the actor stuff he's done, and we'll go back to let's say, Lovely Bones. Max Payne, Date Night, The Other Guys. He was producer, EP, and acted on Entourage. The Fighter, Contraband, Ted, Broken City, Pain and Gain, Two Guns, Lone Survivor. He was in one of the Transformers films, The Gambler. And we're only on 2015 here.
So, actually, it's weird because what you just named all goes like super funny movie, super action movie, super funny movie. The fact that he's an executive producer too really helps out where it's like you can stay alive in the industry just by doing that because you want to be around it or that's just your industry. But you don't have to be the fucking star of every movie you work on. You can also be the EP. So, I know that you're good at dramatic acting. Are you funny? The worst question ever.
Yeah. Give me.
Show me you be funny right now.
Okay.
Go.
Hey everybody. John Ryan. More like let's get some no backdrops for this guy. Nailed it.
Wow. I also like your name a lot too.
Thank you.
Like, I don't know. What am I doing here? What am I doing? Am I? Yeah. I mean, I like your name. It's because well, okay. The way that I knew about your name was on Instagram. We Sam,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, we
I
Sam.
just yeah, but I just figured that it was, people have like names like Chelsea does it or whatever. I
Yeah,
thought it was like we Sam, something. I didn't even know that Keish was your last. Well, how do you say your last name?
quiche.
Keish. Yeah, I didn't even know that it was your last name. I just saw like I knew your name was. I thought it was Sam, and then
Yeah.
I was like, we okay. So he made himself a cute little name.
Wee Sam. Oh yeah, yeah. Nice, nice.
um, no, but then I hear when I hear you say it, I know that it comes from your heritage,
Mhm.
Wesam. You know,
Yeah, we Sam. Yeah.
which is fucking. I love names that are. I don't know how this is gonna sound, but I love names that are from other nationalities that flick so well off an American tongue. You know,
Oh, I'm glad it does. I get my name gets butchered in the casting rooms all the time.
Wesam.
Wasam, Wasam, we Sam. Oh, sorry,
Uh,
it's okay. Just walking. I'm used
Wasam.
to it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Have you had any? I hate to ask, but give me some audition stories, man. Because those
Oh,
are so for a little bit, just to give you background, I did a couple just because I wanted to know what I want. As a director, I wanted to understand more. You know,
okay.
about who I was working with, actors, right? I
Yeah,
did this early on. I wanted to just know. I did the same thing with stand-up comedy. I was working with stand-ups at the time a lot,
yeah.
and so I did stand-up for like 3 months. I wanted to being in a few auditions, it's fucking pain. I don't know how you do that shit, man. That's insane. So do you have any like any stories that make you feel some kind of way?
Yeah. You know, in the beginning, it's always nervous because you're like, you want the job, right?
Yeah. Well,
And you see
is
it.
it that you want the job or you're embarrassed that to like put yourself out there?
Maybe for some people, I'm not embarrassed to like perform because that's what
Mm-hmm.
I do. Like I
Yeah, yeah,
know
okay.
how to do it, and um, something's biting me. It feels like no,
What if you
uh,
turn around there was just a guy behind you biting you?
and he's murdering me on your
Yeah.
show. Oh my
Uh-huh.
gosh, your listens would go up so high.
Damn. I need someone to get murdered on my show. I think that's what I need.
Yeah, yeah. We'll talk about it afterwards.
We'll figure it out.
um. So yeah, you're nervous. You see other actors. You kind of get intimidated. You're like, oh, I recognize that guy in that one thing, and he's going up for my
Mhm.
role. And you start getting in your head. And after a while, you do it enough where you stop getting nervous, and then you stop getting nervous for producer sessions. There might be a little bit of nerves or whatever, but if I'm a firm believer, like if you do the work, you're not going to be you're confident in yourself if you practice enough. So I'm kind of I might come off as an asshole now in a waiting room to the other actors because I don't want to say
Oh.
hi. I don't want to look at anybody. I don't want to make small talk. I mean, if you bump into me, be like, "Oh, excuse me, sorry," like that kind of stuff. Like, but somebody tried to make small talk with me. Probably, I don't know when this was. Probably last year, and it was for a series regular role. And so I'm not there to make friends. I'm there to focus because it's a good
Wait,
role.
it's series regular role. That means that you're just like you take it very serious. No one like. Can you explain why that makes a difference?
Oh, a series regular. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Because it's the lead. It's one of the lead characters in a TV show. You're
Yeah.
probably like number 5 or number 4 on the call sheet, or number 6,
Mm.
depending on how many actors there are,
Okay.
or
So
number
stakes
3
are
or number.
high. Stakes are high. So let's not make fucking friends in the waiting room.
Yeah, and I don't want to. Like, I'm
Yeah.
even if it's for a guest spot or recurring. Like, I'm not there to like be buddy, but I'm not like, this is great, right? No, this is
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
an opportunity for me to really focus in and show these people what I can do with this role. Um, So this one actor, I'm like in my sides, and he's like, "Oh, is this the audition?" And immediately I'm like, "You're an idiot." Yeah, of course this is
Yeah.
the
Mm-hmm.
audition. The side, like, just look. And he
Yeah.
keeps asking me question after question after question, and I hate it because eventually I just go, yeah, man. Well, I'm just going to concentrate on this. And I could tell like he felt so disheartened by that. And I felt a little part of me felt bad about it. And I'm like, ah, shit. But then another part's like, no, man, he's got to know like this is not a place to like make friends and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So
Hmm.
that's the one part. Like, I wish actors really took it a little bit more seriously sometimes.
The waiting room for auditions.
Yeah, and like proper etiquette.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna say her name, but she's a friend of mine, and she'll always post photos of people rehearsing their lines, and yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't agree with it, but
Is she
she
making fun of
does
them?
it. Uh, no, I
Oh
don't know.
no!
I don't know if
Oh
it's like
no!
I don't know if it's like making fun of them, but it's. I mean, but I also don't know that it's not making fun of them. You know?
Hey, you know what? She can do her. It's fine. I'm not trying to tell people like I just don't want to. This is just for me. I'm not trying to put my belief on anybody. What I think proper waiting room etiquette is.
Right,
I
right.
just I have to be focused, man. I'm not the type of actor, unfortunately, who can just go in and flip it on a switch. I have to be in the right mindset, and that
Hmm.
takes a little bit of focus for me. And so, um, is there a funny story I have in an audition waiting room? I think there is. Oh, not a funny. There was an asshole in there, and this is real too. He comes out of the waiting room and goes, "You guys can go home. I already booked the role." And I'm like, dude,
Fucking cock.
dude, get in a car crash. Bye.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I
Uh huh.
can't stand that type of ad. Like who are you? Like what are
Uh
you
huh.
trying to get into my head? Man,
Yeah. And what? So you what? Did he get the? What if he got the role, dude?
no. I checked. I know that story. He didn't get the role.
He didn't get the role. Good.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Good. Did he get in a car crash?
Doesn't
Unfortunately,
matter to
he
me.
did. Went to the funeral.
Legally, I
Told
can't
us.
say there was some pending case against me. No. Yeah.
um.
Not nothing. Unfortunately, I don't have any crazy audition stories, especially recently, since the last time I've been in an office was February, I think, for the last
Mhm.
pilot I booked. That was a cool testing session, though. It was really nice. Casting
Yeah.
directors were great. Producers were great too. Yeah.
When you were starting, were you doing extra work?
No, I did one extra job and I left on set because it turned into some weird sexual done fighting thing, and I was like, "Oh, I'm done. I'm leaving."
Oh, well, that's actually really rare that somebody didn't start by doing extra work. How did you get
Hmm.
around that? Is it because did you go? Did you? Were you in? Where were you? London?
So I did
You
study in
trained?
London for
Yeah.
a summer program there, and it was great. That one really showed me like the different theaters. Like I just learned about theater in London, and when I saw that, and it was my last summer in college, right before my senior year, and I was like, oh, this is acting. Like
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Because I had gone to Broadway, and Broadway was great, and that's cool. And I started taking acting seriously my first year of college, and I realized, oh, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Um, but seeing actors in London doing these plays, I was leaving each show going, oh my god, I had goosebumps. There's this one play called
Mhm.
Rosmer's Home, man. Oh, I will never forget it. Spoiler alert: the ending. I'll just say it because probably
Say
nobody's
it.
gonna read this play. The maid screams because she sees the two main characters commit suicide.
Mhm.
And when she screamed, I remember chills just filled my body, and then my eyes started welling up, and I was like, I was, I felt what she was feeling, and it was like, oh my god, how do I do what she did? And I remember talking to her afterwards, and her part
Ah,
wasn't that big either. And I remember like, you were awesome, and she was like, oh, thank you. Like I'm the maid. What are you talking about? But she
dude.
was so fucking on it, man. And I love seeing master craftsmen at their work
Mhm.
do stuff like that. It just inspires me and it makes me go, fuck, I need to step up my game.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah.
That shit is. Oh man. I mean, so this is a movie that did that to me last. Well, no, I mean, several movies have done this to me since, but the one that I ran out of the theater and went and started writing immediately, like I went to, it was at, I left ArcLight, and there's that
Yeah.
Stella Barra place right next to it that has like pizza. I went there. I was like, "Do you have a pen? Do you have?" I just needed to write right there. Like I couldn't go home. I couldn't sit in traffic and then go home and then write. I had to write right there. So
Yeah.
I went there. I was like, "Do you have a pen? I'll buy a pen from you. I'll give you $1. Like just give me a pen. I need a fucking pen." I got a pen, and then I needed to find paper, so I went. I went to Umami Burger. They have giant menus, so I just started writing on the back of it. The movie I saw was Her, the Spike Jonze movie, and
Oh.
dude, something with that movie. I think it was the same year too. It was that movie did that to me, and so did Before Midnight, the Linklater movie with Ethan Hawke and Julie Delpy. It's
Wow.
it's something hit me really hard with those movies that just because I had been out of film school for maybe like 5 years, and I'd been doing a lot of shit, but coming out of those movies was me going, holy shit, I want to live in whatever I just saw forever. Like that is what I
Mm.
want that is what I want to feel like. That is what I want to make people feel. I need to do this. And it's been that way ever since. I've been writing a lot of stuff. I've made a few shorts here and there. I've somewhere along the way too. I've taken a lot of jobs. Jobs. I'm in a job right now. Not with this podcast, but with my job day job.
Right.
But yeah, it's something that this feeling that I got from it is what you're talking about when you heard the maid scream, when you said, "Holy shit." That's some powerful shit. When you get hit with that feeling, it'll propel you for the next couple of years, or at least, you know.
It was one of those keystone moments, for sure, for sure. Have you seen
Hmm.
Red Belt?
No,
It's written by David Mamet and directed by him. Chewy, the black actor, his name is Chewy.
I like David
You,
Mamet.
yeah, it's my favorite movie of all time. Red Belt. Let me just, I forget his last name all the time. The main actor in it. Oh, here we go. Chiwetel
Oh, Chiwetel
Ejiofor.
Ejiofor.
So with Red Belt, it's about a Brazilian jiu-jitsu instructor trying to stay true to his values despite everything going wrong for him. Everything. And the stuff that this character has to go through is heartbreaking, soul-wrenching, and at a certain point in the movie, I'm like, where the fuck is this character going to go? And something happens, this turning point, and it brings so much inspiration into my heart and fire. And I'm trying not to give away the ending.
Yeah, please don't, because I need
Basically,
I need to watch this.
yeah, in the very beginning of the movie, they're showing you a chokehold, and he's like teaching a class about a chokehold, and he's trying to get these students to like, hey, okay, like the guy who's being choked, he's like, hey, breathe, breathe. There's no situation you can't get out of. That's the main theme of the movie. There is no situation you can't get out of. And
Yeah.
John, when the ending happened, I am in tears because I'm feeling like the weight of the world as just a regular human being, when like shit happens to you in life, when
Hmm.
life is just so fucking horrible to you, you lose family members for shitty circumstances, or things are unfair, and you're like, fuck, how do I get out of this? My life is shit. And this movie teaches you or shows you the path on how to like flip that and go fucking berserker mode and change your life around. Fuck,
Yeah.
man, I'm so pumped up, and I'm also caffeinated, but that's fine. But anyway,
I mean, here's the thing: is like I why I love what you just said is because that's really good filmmaking. First off, it gives you a primitive pursuit when you watch someone getting choked out, especially if it's
mm,
filmed well. Well, if it's directed by David Mamet, it's probably filmed well. Probably,
yeah,
looks really great. And then also, everyone knows what it's like to need to breathe and not be able to. Everyone's been underwater. Everyone's coughed a little bit too much and not been able to catch your breath. Everyone's sprinted somewhere and not been able to. You know what it feels like to not breathe. We know we need that. And also, the other part is when a movie can integrate perfectly a character or two in the first 5 minutes, 2 minutes of a movie, and that says what the movie is about to be, and then you get it later, I mean, that's the fucking structure that people try to get and they don't. That's the structure that films really should do. I mean, in their own way. Every film has to do it in their way. It's very cool to hear, because I already kind of I almost feel like there's a certain language with like scripts that if you know them, you kind of know what happens. Like I feel like I can assume a lot about what's going to happen in this story. And I try to explain this to my dad, because my dad doesn't really. I'm trying to explain to him why film is rad, and I suppose he loves he'll like the Transformer movies, or like these like Kate and Leopold type of movies, but I tried to explain it to him with that movie. Maybe it's a bad example for him, but the movie Mother, the Aronofsky movie with and I tried to explain how it was just this sort of personification. Well, I guess not personification, but metaphor for just, how the world came about and how Mother Nature is rebelling against that. And it's almost like a play, really. And I tried to explain this all to him, and it just kind of I just saw it go over. And I was like, no, please, come on, please catch this, please. I want to be able to talk about this with you. Like, please, can you? I just wish there's a certain language or feeling that people like you and I give a fuck about, and it's really cool to hear that how on fire you are for even explaining that beginning scene. It's important. It's important for people like us to even be around people like us.
Dude, life is short too. Like, I'm realizing that it's precious. It's not just short; it's precious, and we don't know when it's going to end. So I'm gonna be passionate. And we just talked about me not being on the pendulum on the other swing of things. That's not me being like out of control with my emotions. There's like a certain. Actually, I'm more in control of that passion and that fire, and it helps me with acting. And then when I see stuff like that, I'm like, why can't we get really energetic? Why can't? I have an audition for something that has 4 lines when I first started out. I'm gonna put my life into it because why not? If I don't get passionate about 4 lines, how the hell am I gonna get passionate about the lead role?
Yeah. But anyway, man, I'm gonna wrap this up since we're about out of time right now. But I appreciate it so much, and we'll do some more talking on your show.
Yeah, Saturday, man. Yeah,
Saturday.
Absolutely. I'm really looking forward to this. This was I didn't know what to expect, and it just surpassed everything. I really had a blast talking with you, and I'm glad we're kind of on the same mindset and everything like that. So that's great, man. But I got some questions for you too for Saturday too, so we can continue this.
I'm pumped, dude. All right. I'll talk to you later. Thanks for talking.
All right. Later, dude. Bye.
Later. Thank you for enjoying that episode of Face to Face Time with Wesam Keesh. Dude, so it sucks because I didn't know. I wish I knew who he was when he hit me up, because I didn't know how cool he was. Also, I kind of wish that I was going to say the dumbest thing right now. I was going to say I wish I had this conversation before this conversation, because I did expect him to talk more about, like, celebrity and Hollywood and whatever, and he's so not that. I didn't realize I was going to talk to a real ass artist, but that's what this is, man. I love getting to know people, and I didn't think that I would meet like a deep ass artist. It was very, very cool to talk to him. Make sure to like and subscribe on YouTube, Face to Face Time. If you're watching it, hit subscribe if you haven't. Also, the podcast apps, go on those, and the one you go on is the Apple Podcast, right? TikTok, I'm on TikTok now. It's face and then the number 2 and then FaceTime. Also the Instagram. pick one of these things and do them. I'd be super stoked if you did one of those. My name is John Ryan. Thanks for watching. Back next week with another episode. Wow, I slurred that, didn't I? Let me do it again. My name is John Ryan. Thanks for watching. Back next week with another episode. Whatever, I'll take it. Bye.